The Zapirian commander's mandibles clicked in what his species considered laughter as he loomed over the small human woman before him. Lieutenant Sarah Chen stood barely 5 feet tall, looking almost fragile against his 8-foot frame encased in chitinous armor and lined with razor-sharp appendages. Around them, the sterile corridors of the diplomatic station vibrated with tension. Negotiations had collapsed spectacularly. Your pathetic species thinks it can dictate terms to the Xian Empire, Commander Vexthon hissed, his 4 eyes glowing with predatory amusement. We have conquered 17 star systems. Your little Earth is nothing but a blue marble waiting to be cracked. The human delegation had evacuated 20 minutes earlier when talks failed. But Sarah had volunteered to remain behind. The other representatives, Altarians, Centauri, even the warlike Cronins, had fled when the Zapirians revealed their true intentions. What are you going to do, little human? Vexthon sneered, stepping closer. 6 warriors flanked him, their plasma rifles charging with an ominous whine. Call your fleet? Beg for mercy? Your nearest reinforcements are 3 days away. Sarah slowly lifted her hands and gathered her long black hair, pulling it into a tight ponytail. The motion was calm, practiced, almost meditative. Her dark eyes never left the commander's face. Do you want the quiet version? She asked evenly. Or the bloody one? Vexthon's mandibles clicked faster. You dare threaten me? I have killed more sentient beings than... Quiet version it is, she interrupted. What followed would be debated in xenobiology circles for decades. Sarah moved with fluid precision. Her hand swept to her belt, not for a weapon, but for what looked like a simple communicator. As her thumb pressed a coded sequence, the device projected a holographic interface none of the Zapirians had seen before. Diplomatic Override Code 77 Alpha, she said clearly. Authorization. Chun, Sarah. Lieutenant. Terran Defense Corps. Special Operations Division. The corridor lights dimmed and shifted to a deep, ominous red. A low hum filled the air. Not from the station systems. From something else. What trickery is this? Vexthon demanded, though the edge in his voice had dulled. No trickery, Sarah replied calmly. Just standard human engineering. While you were conquering 17 systems, we were preparing for the worst-case scenario. The humming intensified. Vexthon realized it was coming from the walls. This entire diplomatic station, Sarah continued, was designed and built by human engineers. Every bolt, every circuit, every line of code designed around one question. What happens if negotiations fail? The Zapirian warriors raised their weapons. I wouldn't, Sarah advised lightly. The station's defense grid is active. Every weapon you're holding is being tracked by 17 targeting systems. Your armor has been scanned and mapped. And your flagship is currently being boarded by human marines concealed in the station's outer hull. Impossible, Vexthon snarled. We scanned for life signs. Human marines in powered armor register the same as maintenance drones, Sarah replied, offering her first smile. It wasn't warm. We studied your previous conquests, learned how your sensors work, then built countermeasures. Understanding began to settle over the commander's 4 eyes. You used the other species as bait. They volunteered, Sarah shrugged. Turns out nobody likes bullies. The Altarians provided stealth technology. The Centauri handled sensor interference. The Cronins were simply happy to watch someone else do the fighting for once. Vexthon calculated rapidly. Every option ended badly. What do you want? He asked at last. Unconditional surrender of your fleet. Withdrawal from all 17 occupied systems. Reparations to be negotiated later. And a formal apology to every species you've terrorized. And if I refuse? Sarah's smile widened, revealing perfect white teeth. Remember when I asked about the quiet version or the bloody one? This is the quiet version. She stepped slightly closer. The bloody version involves explaining to the Galactic Council why the Zapirian home fleet vanished in a sequence of very bright, very permanent explosions. Our home fleet is 3 sectors away, Vexthon barked. Was, Sarah corrected softly. Human temporal displacement technology is fascinating. Your scientists never figured out how our ships jump impossible distances. That's because we're not just moving through space. We're moving through time. Silence swallowed the corridor. Your fleet won't be destroyed unless you refuse our terms, she continued. But from their perspective, it's already happened. Causality becomes flexible when you know how to bend it. You're bluffing? Vexthon said, though doubt trembled beneath the words. Sarah reached up and began loosening her ponytail. Would you like to find out? I'm perfectly willing to demonstrate the bloody version. Through the station's viewports, the Zapirian flagship's lights flickered erratically, system failures cascading across its hull. His warriors began to tremble despite their armor. What assurance do I have that you'll honor any agreement? Vexthon asked quietly. The same assurance you gave the 17 systems you conquered, Sarah replied coldly. None. She paused. But here's the difference. When humans make a deal, we keep it. When we make a threat, we mean it. And when someone threatens our friends, we don't just defeat them. We make sure they never threaten anyone again. The commander's shoulders sagged. They hadn't simply been outmatched. They had been outthought, outplanned, outprepared. I surrender, he said finally. Sarah nodded and entered another command. The red lighting faded. The humming stopped. Smart choice, Commander. The Galactic Council will appreciate not having to clean up another conquest-happy empire. Human Marines seemed to materialize from the walls themselves as they escorted Vexthon and his guards away. He turned back once more. How long have you been planning this? Sarah finished reading her ponytail and smiled again, that terrifying human smile. Since the first time someone asked us, what are you going to do? We've been answering that question ever since. Left alone in the corridor, she activated her communicator. Control, this is Chun. Situation resolved. Recommend adding hair tie intimidation to the diplomatic protocol manual. Laughter crackled back over the line. Copy that, Lieutenant. Command wants to know, quiet version or bloody version? Sarah grinned. Quiet version, thankfully. But next time someone asks what humans are going to do, we'll have an even better answer. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.